In this video, we are in Albany, New York to try out a brewery that has become a destination for hopheads called Fidens. Please join us as we check out the space, try some of the food, and of course sample some of the beer to see if this spot is worth you giving a visit. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're up in Albany, New York, which is just a few hours away from New York City and is actually the capital of New York State, and we're going to try out Fidens Brewing. Now, Fidens is a spot that I've been hearing about from fellow beer enthusiasts and also seeing many posts about on beer social media pages, including a few we follow on Instagram. They are most well known for soft, super juicy New England style IPAs with a real sweet spot in those big hop saturated double IPAs. Now, for some background about Fidens. They first opened in September 2019 and were founded by longtime friends Steve Parker, Tim Pierce, and Michael Carter. And then the Albany taproom, which is where we're going today, opened August 4th, 2023, and it opened with a stacked draft lineup and cans to go. However, this spot isn't just about beer. There's a full kitchen too, with legit bar food, including a really good steak sandwich, plus rotating plates and even Sunday brunch. So let's grab a pour, grab a bite, and see if Fidens is worth a visit. However, as we head over there, let's first see what people are saying about them online. Now, on Yelp, they have a 4.4 out of 104 reviews, and on Google, a 4.5 out of 374, so pretty solid. The positive reviews mentioned the great IPAs, including the New England style IPAs, and also the food, that it was great. So while they say the beer is the star of the show, the food isn't far behind. And then somebody mentions that this is especially your spot if you love hazy, juicy, milky IPAs. Then for the negatives, they mentioned the service, the staff wasn't friendly. They also mentioned they didn't like the food. So we have conflicting accounts there. And then somebody also mentions the food and actually talks about a new menu, that they're disappointed in that. So I'm not sure what menu we got when we went, but we'll definitely address that later on. So are the positive reviews correct, or the negative, or is it a little bit of both? Well, let's head on over and find out for ourselves. So taking a look at the menu here, as is to be expected, hazy IPAs are the star of the show. So many. However, they do have a few other options as well. I see a few sours. Hopefully we'll be able to get to those, but it might be tough with so many hazy options. Also, they don't do flights, which is really disappointing for me. So for my first beer, I got the Raoul. I hope I'm saying that right. It was a citrusy and then had this slight stone fruit vibe, really a nice pillowy, soft mouthfeel. Just a really fantastic hazy, and I really enjoyed it. Then for our next two beers, we got the Vegan on the left and the Orchid on the right. The Vegan had this juicy tropical fruit up front, then a bright citrus through the middle, and a winey gooseberry white grape edge on the finish. I really enjoyed this. I think this was my favorite so far, but we'll see. Then the second drink was the Orchid. That was 8% Nelson, and it had this white grape Sauvignon Blanc floral notes to it. My wife really enjoyed this one the most, so she kind of took this beer over. Both, though, were excellent hazy IPAs. We enjoyed all of them. I think my two favorites so far are the Raoul and the Vegan. Now for our next beer, we went a little bit stronger and we did a triple IPA, the Sound of Thunder. And this has these notes of peach and stone fruit, also some citrus, and then I get a slight woody dankiness. We really enjoyed this beer. It was fantastic and very impactful, although that's probably due to the high alcohol content. So I have to say, looking at the beer so far, my two favorite are the Vegan there and then the Sound of Thunder. Although I also really enjoyed the Raoul, I think the Sound of Thunder is my favorite so far. So for food, we ordered the steak sandwich and a chicken sandwich. The steak sandwich was incredible. The meat was tender, and look at those onions and peppers and mushrooms. They added so much flavor. Then the cheese sauce tasted homemade and was perfect to tie everything together. I actually ordered this sandwich twice. It was so good. The chicken sandwich was also really good, fresh and homemade. However, the steak sandwich was the star of the show for me. Then after, we were still feeling a bit hungry, and so we got these chicken tacos. These were fantastic. The meat was spiced perfectly and had onions and peppers in it. I also love the sauce they put on top. One note, I love the amount of sauce. However, my wife felt there was a little too much. So depending on your preferences, you might want to ask them to put it on the side. Either way, I would definitely order these again. Then on another occasion, my wife got the burger and it was killer as well. She loved it, and I also tried it and loved it as well. I would definitely order it myself if I wasn't addicted to that steak sandwich. Then I decided to do the final triple IPA on the menu, Lack of Vision, and this was really amazing. I think it was my favorite beer of the night. It had this bright citrus and then tropical fruit layered with a nice white grape gooseberry finish, along with some nice soft orchard fruit, almost stone fruit vibes in there. Just an amazing triple IPA, and also had an incredible smooth mouthfeel. I think this, like I said, was my favorite hazy of the night. Then for my final beer, I decided to switch it up and do a sour. Now my wife doesn't really like sours, but I do, and this was fantastic. It was K2 Blending Dreams. It had this peach, cinnamon, and vanilla in it. It was actually a perfect sour because it wasn't too tart, but it had just enough sourness and then just enough sweetness, and also a fantastic mouthfeel. I would highly recommend this beer if you like sours. So now that we are all finished, let's head out, and as we walk, we'll go over the positives, neutral, and negative of Fidens Brewery. So first, for the positives, we have the food, beer, and atmosphere. Not much more to say there. The food was incredible. We loved it. The beer, fantastic, great hazies, and I also really enjoyed the atmosphere. Had a nice kind of sports bar vibe. I could see it being especially nice in the summer. Then for the neutrals was the service, and no barley wines or imperial stouts, that kind. They did have some stouts there, but I really would have wished for some stronger 10, 11, 12%ers, especially during the winter. And the service was good. Everybody was nice, but it wasn't incredible. So I put it as a neutral because it could have been a little warmer and a little more friendly. And then finally, the negative, we have no flights. And that was an issue. With the amount of beers they had, they definitely need flights. You start to lose track of what you're having, and it gets very time-consuming ordering individual smaller servings. Even though I really do like that they give you these half pours, I still wish they would actually give you a flight so you could keep track of what you were having, and kind of it would be a little more organized, and also less work for the bartender. So, recommendation, add flights. Now, as for the reviews, for the most part, we did not share the experience of the reviewers who were unhappy with Fidens. We found the food to be fantastic, and while the prices were a little on the high side, we felt they were worth it for what you got. That being said, I'm not sure if we tried the new menu or the old one, since this video has been in the making for a while, so hopefully our experience is based on the most recent iteration of the menu. If not, then it's possible those reviewers who mentioned it has changed may have a point. So then, what are our final thoughts? Well, we loved Fidens. The food was fantastic and the beers were delicious, assuming you love hazy East Coast style IPAs like we do. If you live in or close to Albany, I would definitely recommend this spot as a must visit. If I lived close by myself, I would be a regular here, not just for the beer, but also for that food, especially the steak sandwich. Now, as someone visiting Albany, this spot is a must visit, and it was definitely worth the trek from New York City. Well, those are our final thoughts on Fidens Brewery. If you enjoyed this video, then check out this video right here. Also, please let us know what you think of it, and if you have any questions or thoughts in the comments below. Finally, please click like, subscribe, and that bell icon so you get notified of any new videos, and most importantly, always drink responsibly. Thank you for watching, and please join us again on Boozy Explorers.